welcome to Vietnam Journal, our daily English news bulletin on NETVIET VTC10. I'm Ngọc Ánh speaking from Hanoi. Every day we'll bring you comprehensive and up-to-date information about Vietnam and following our major stories on Tuesday. Philippine airline launches direct flight to Hanoi. Overseas Vietnamese student honored by US President. And Gaelic football for youngsters in Hanoi. Cebu Pacific, the largest airline of the Philippines, has officially opened its direct flight route from Manila to Hanoi. The Embassy of the Philippines in Vietnam held a press meeting on Monday to introduce the route.
Cebu Pacific operates its flight routes to almost cities of Asian countries. With the event, Cebu becomes the first Philippine airline to launch its direct flight to Hanoi. The new route is scheduled to depart from Manila to Hanoi 2 times every week. The information is available on www.cebupacificair.com. Speaking of the flight launching in Vietnam, Mr. Jeriel Santos, Philippine ambassador in Vietnam, confirmed this is the most expected event in 2012 in Vietnam. He also believes the Manila-Hanoi direct flight will boost the tourism and commerce cooperation between the two countries. Besides Hanoi, Cebu also launches its direct flight from Manila to Ho Chi Minh City with the return ticket available from $69.
The French Embassy in Vietnam held a press conference on Monday to introduce a seminar on urban air quality and transport improvement. The seminar will take place on Wednesday in Hanoi.
This is one of the important events for atmospheric environment research and Vietnamese-French cooperation. The seminar will introduce modeling forecast air quality system in most major cities all over the world, as well as explore funding possibilities for a modeling forecast air quality system for Hanoi. The seminar aims at promoting better air quality and reducing gas emission in Hanoi's urban transport system. This is a good opportunity for enterprises of two countries to exchange experiences and enhance bilateral cooperation in the fields of environment and urban transport.
Vietnam will join Asia's biggest food and hotel exhibition from April the 17th to the 20th in Singapore. The information was announced in a recent press conference in Hanoi.
At the conference, representatives of the Food and Hotel Asia organizers briefly introduced the exhibition this year in Singapore. The Food and Hotel Asia 2012 is expected to attract 2,700 exhibitors from 60 countries and regions and 50,000 visitors. 29 Vietnamese enterprises will participate in this biggest exhibition in Asian in food and hospitality industry. Food and Hotel Asia 2012 will be held together with Wine and Spirit Asia 2012 in Singapore. The event is expected to bring opportunities for Vietnamese enterprises as well as Asian enterprises. Food and Hotel Asia exhibition was first set up in 1972 by the Singapore Exhibition Services Company Limited and held every 2 years.
And following is some other economic news in brief.
Construction of the SC Vivo City Commercial Center started on March the 16th in Ho Chi Minh City. The center is jointly invested by Vietnam Second Co-op Group and the Singapore-based Temasek Finance and Investment Group. SC Vivo City covers an area of 70,000 square meters with a total funding of $100 million. HOK, one of the leading design groups of the United States, is responsible for all design, architecture, and decoration of the center.
Japanese invested Zion Manufacturing Limited Vietnam Company has been granted an investment certificate to build a facility in the Vietnam-Singapore Industrial Park, or VSIP, in Vietnam's northern province of Hải Phòng. The factory will produce a wide range of metal products and equipment, including medical instruments, telecom products, and electronic items. It has a total registered capital of $25 million.
Belgian can making Vietnam, under China's Belgian Corporation, has recently held the groundbreaking ceremony of its plant in Vietnam-Singapore Industrial Park 2 in Vietnam's southern province of Bình Dương. The plant specializes on iron, steel, aluminum wrapping products, both for domestic market and export. The total capital cost more than $86 million. The plant's estimated capacity is more than 700 million cans per year.
The Japanese embassy in Vietnam held a signing ceremony for a non-refundable rate agreement in Hanoi on March the 16th. Under this, the Japanese government will provide more than $313,000 to improve healthcare and schooling in Tam Dương district of Vietnam's northern mountainous Lai Châu province. The fund will be used to either build or expand two healthcare centers with nearly $220,000 and one secondary school with $112,000.
Đình Vũ Industrial Zone, located in Vietnam's northern port city of Hai Phong, is considered a prime example of Belgian investment in Vietnam. On the occasion of a large Belgian business delegation's visit to the city, our NETVIET VTC10 reporter had a conversation with Mr. Frank Wouters, Deputy General Director of Đình Vũ Industrial Zone, about Belgian investment here.
Hello, Mr. Frank Wouters. Welcome to our program today. So, the first question is that, how do you assess the needs of developing infrastructure such as inland transportation and seaport system for Vietnam?
In Vietnam, what I see is that there is a very big need for infrastructure development. The country itself is more than 3,000 kilometers long. The list of infrastructure which has to be built or which needs to be built is very long. And I would hope that there is a good making of priorities. First finish one and then take the next step. This I think is very important in the development of infrastructure in Vietnam.
How can Belgium help Vietnam develop those sectors in terms of finance, technologies and experience?
According to me, the first step for joint development is a mutual understanding of what needs to be done. Mutual understanding can only be done if there is a good relation between the two countries. What I see is that economic missions, meetings, bilateral meetings are needed to increase this understanding. And in practice, what I see on the field, that there are a lot of exchanges. These exchanges are for universities, but they are also for business. And this will lay a good base for a correct understanding, so that more than one solution can be looked at and more than one solution can be presented and discussed by both parties.
What kind of investment model would you prefer when you come to Vietnam?
Vietnam is a country with a very long history. It is a country where doing business requires you to understand the language, the habits and the way things work in Vietnam. There are two ways. Either you go as a 100% foreign option, but then you need to understand that you need to develop your Vietnamese skills to operate here. And this will consume quite some time. The second option is that you select a good partner with whom you make a good agreement, who needs to do what, who will take charge of what. And then I think in a country as Vietnam, where the economy is growing so fast, you will not lose a lot of time and you will be able to have a successful story, a successful company very fast.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Vietnam Journal. It's not just news, it's life in Vietnam.
Welcome back to our news bulletin. Thạch Thach Nguyen, a Vietnamese graduate from the University of California, Los Angeles, has been honored by U.S. President Barack Obama for community work. He is one of 5 successful leaders of the Champions of Change program.
In 2001, Thach and his friend operated a non-profit organization named Swives for the Homeless, which aims to giving a helping hand to poor and homeless people. Swives for the Homeless is considered an official organization of UCLA, with many branch offices located in Southern California, UC Berkeley. Currently, Thach is the co-founder and chief financial officer of Swives for the Homeless. In 2011, Campus Champions of Change Challenge is launched by the White House.
Gaelic football is one of Ireland's national sports, playing an indispensable role in the life of Irish people wherever they go. Recently, 3 international schools in Hanoi joined the Viet Cels Hanoi Schools Cup to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Let's follow our NETVIET VTC10 reporter to Vietnam Australia School Greenfield and experience the Irish sport.
Gaelic football is played like a mixture of soccer and rugby, with the ball being bounced, kicked or hand-passed. Though the most popular sport in Ireland that has been played for hundreds of years, Gaelic football has only recently been introduced to the Vietnamese people through the Irish community in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. In 2011, Ho Chi Minh City hosted Southeast Asian Gaelic football games with the participation of teams in the region.
A very important part of our culture in Ireland is sport, and a very important part of that sport are our Gaelic games, including football and hurling. And we're delighted that those games are being played now here in Vietnam, but also across Asia.
In this Viet Cels Hanoi Schools Cup, 50 young girls and boys from 3 international schools in Hanoi are split into 5 teams to compete with each other. What's interesting in this event is that children from different nations around the world work as a team to win this challenging Irish game. As citizen ambassadors, around 150 Irish people in Vietnam have helped to spread their culture and sports to the Southeast Asian country, where youngsters are very eager to learn cool things from abroad.
Vietnamese, from what I've seen, Vietnamese players are very good at it, because Vietnamese players are good fighting spirit, they're very fast, and they're good at evasion. That means getting away from players, and passing the ball on. So all of these qualities make it a good sport for Vietnam.
Em thấy môn thể thao này giúp chúng ta khỏe mạnh hơn, vừa khỏe chân vừa khỏe tay và kết hợp được nhiều thứ trong cơ thể. Em học được cái phần chiến thuật của môn thể thao này là phải biết chạy, biết đồng đội với nhau, kết hợp với nhau để ghi được một bàn thắng, rất là kể cả một điểm thôi cũng rất là quan trọng đối với cả đội nữa.
Every ball game has a winning team and a losing team, and this time, Vietnam Australia School has defeated Hanoi International School by 2 points. Yeah! Happiness and sadness could be seen through the kids' facial expressions in the contrary position, as they have put a lot of passion into the game. In the end, they all won many things, that is the team spirit and solidarity during their training and competition.
The story about the Irish sport in Hanoi has wrapped up our news bulletin today. For comments and feedbacks, please send us an email to netvietdaily@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again tomorrow.